Okay, this is past me, and this is my craft room. We're going to go around real quick. Hope I don't make you dizzy. And show you what's in here. And then hopefully I will have made an intro and I'll show you the finished craft room when I get it all done. I just wanted to I might be rearranging some furniture in here in the next few days, so I just thought I'd show you what I'm working with right now. There's the door. This is my Lowry stand for my cross stitch, and that is my great-grandmother's rocking chair, which will stay in here. I have to have books on the stand. It's a little, when you have something heavy on it, it's a little tips over. Can't make words today. These are all projects that are ready to go that I haven't started yet. They need to find a new home, obviously. I never stitch in here. This frame is only for big projects, which I'm going to show you something in just a minute. And I don't ever stitch in here because the chair is full. So moving on around, I have a big bookcase, and I really need to do some clearing out. All those pink boxes on the top, that's DMC thread. I need to find a better storage system for that. I'm looking into my options now, and those are mostly cross-stitch books. And then in these boxes down here, that's more threads. This was mainly a cross-stitch area, so a lot of that's going to change. There's one of my craft lights. That's an older art light. These, I'll take the cover off of this one real quick so you can kind of see. Those are my frames that go on the Lowry stand. That's something has been sitting there for years. No lie, years. And this one, when I get everything rearranged, I'll show it to you. It's a project I'm working on for my granddaughter, and I've been working on that for like 5 years. I've got to finish it. Every year I say I'm going to finish it, and I don't. I really need to take it off that big frame and put it in something smaller. So these are the cottons I've been using for the dishcloth. That's the crochet thing I'm working on right now, the blanket. These are just odds and ends yarn. Some of this will be in giveaways. And some of it will be stored somewhere else. So here's my window. I'm going to move my sewing table in front of this window. It's currently right here on this wall, which I'm getting ready to film a podcast soon. So there's my basket, and that's my sewing machine. This table that I use for my sewing table, I'm going to move in front of this. This was mostly convenient for cross stitch and sewing. I need to rearrange those, and that may be moving off my table. So on the wall where the sewing table is now, I'm gonna get a bookcase. Well, it's not really a bookcase, but some storage that has glass doors. I've already picked it out. I just have to get it, and for my yarn storage. These are all, because this is sewing, some of this is fabric under here and different odds and ends. These are cross stitch patterns. I'm fixing to whittle those down. I have more stuff than one person could do in a lifetime, and I get overwhelmed hanging on to stuff. So this is yarn in here that's waiting, that I have specifically for a project. I want to get rid of all these plastic storage containers, at least be able to put them in my closet. Here's my tripod and my ironing board. This is DK weight on the bottom, and that's all fingering weight in the top. So there's my cork board there that I just keep stuff from shops I've bought from before, some places I want to review yarn for. This is the closet. When we moved here, there was no door on this closet. I'm not really sure why, so I just hung a curtain, and I'm not going to show you the closet today. It's terrible, terrible. That is full of yarn that's for crochet blankets, because a couple years ago I enjoy crocheting blankets mostly, and I was like, oh, I have to have all the kits. So excuse me. This I believe will stay where it's at. This is my antique dresser, and it is full of cross stitch fabric, linen for cross stitch, some fabrics that I got from my great aunt when she passed away, and other just quilting fabrics. 2 more plastic containers with yarn in it, and this is sock yarn, sock sets. I don't even know what's in the bottom one. It's yarn, but it's not. The one on top is sock sets. So this is kind of the current state, and that's some cross stitch and just odds and ends up there. That's the current state of where we are. I really want this area here to be my backdrop. I'm gonna hang some lights and hang something on the wall that I can put a project on, like a shawl or something, a hanger, so it will be behind me when I'm recording. That pink thing was when I quit my job. I worked with kids in a computer lab. When I quit my job, they made that poster for me. I'm going to take that down and store it somewhere. And so here we are back at the door. So that's kind of, like I said before, it's a tiny room. This is kind of the state of where we are. And I will be back and post the finished video when I get it done. It's April now. It's the beginning of April. It may be a few months. It may be a few months before I get it finished, but it'll get there. But I think I'm going to go ahead and move this table in the next week or so. So I'm going to end it here, and I'll tack the rest of the video on later. Hope you're having a good day. Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 17th, and I'm here to show you my updated craft room. Things didn't go exactly according to plan, but I'll walk you through where everything is and tell you kind of what didn't work out. So the chair stayed where it was. Before you see this part of the video, I will have shown a clip of what it looked like before. And so my stand is where it was, but look, it's cleaned out, and I can use it now for my bigger projects. So let me step back so you can see it. That's my great-grandmother's chair, and I do love it. And so, sorry for my hand being in the way. This whole section has stayed the same, pretty much just cleaned up. I left these shelves, there's my podcast basket. I left these shelves where they were. I got rid of all the DMC that was at the top, and those 2 containers have either already started projects for cross stitch or ones that are kitted up. I did clean them out. I've cleaned out quite a bit of my cross stitch stuff, but I haven't finished it yet. The next shelf down are, and these binders are patterns for some crochet and some knitting. And then I whittled down all of my books. Those are all of my books, I believe, in cross stitch, crochet, and knitting. I donated what I don't use anymore. So I'm happy with those 2 shelves. This shelf is sewing stuff. There's some rulers and stuff like that, and my rotary cutters and scissors in here, so that's sewing. This shelf is random craft stuff, my glue gun and stuff is in there. This is like just, I'm sorry, where are my words today? Ribbons and buttons and things like that for cross stitch or for whatever I need it for. These binders have knitting projects in that I want to do sooner rather than later. The bottom shelf is painting items, and this is a kit that I haven't started yet, and that is some bare yarn that I want to dye myself with some food coloring. And then in the bottom drawer are my the rest of my painting watercolor stuff. So I'm, you know, overall pretty happy with what I have on my shelves. They look definitely a lot neater, and I can get to everything now. I'm gonna try to, there's not a lot of room for me to step back in here, so try to show you everything. I moved my sewing desk, and it's much cleaner than it used to be. I'm trying not to have anything underneath my desk. However, you know, it just didn't work out that way. This container is leftover yarn from projects. This one that you can barely see in front of the chair has some quilting stuff in it, like batting and things like that. And again, these they're 3 or 4 boxes, I'm not sure, 3 I believe. Those are cross stitch patterns, and I still haven't gone through those. I will have to do that at some point, but overall it makes it much easier for me to use this table for sewing, and I'm really pleased with that. I had a lot, I'll try to get you in close on this so you can see it. I had quite a few needle holders from all my years of cross stitching. I whittled those down to 1 board, and so those are the ones that I'm keeping, and they're hanging on the side of this bookcase. So if we go along to the other side of the window, this bookcase, let me step back some. I was unable to get the piece of furniture that I wanted. It was out of stock. I waited. It was something from IKEA, and we don't have an IKEA in this state at all. So this bookcase is, I got from my mom's house. Her brother built that for her, and she wasn't using it, so I put it in here. And let's see, on the top shelf, those are some minis. That's where I'm storing some of my minis right now until I get what I want to have to store minis in. The next shelf down, I guess I could walk a little closer and show you, because this is the majority of my yarn. This shelf is all sets that go together or sweater quantities. These are sock sets that all have a mini with them, so they're all sock sets. This is more sock yarn, just single skeins, all fingering weight. This is also more fingering weight. That's the majority of what I have. This is DK and worsted. And in these 2 containers on the bottom, the one on this, where's my finger? The one on this side has some balls of sock yarn instead of hanks. And this has some finished projects that I've made in the past. So I managed to get all of my hank type yarns stored on this bookcase. And this is the wall where the table was before. Sorry, bumping into stuff, trying to back up. This also has leftover yarn from projects in it. This is a project that I've started that just hasn't gone anywhere lately, so I have it sitting up there. These are, for a while there, I was doing the crochet society. No, what was it? Sorry, I just remembered. Little box of crochet clubs. And those are the ones that I haven't done yet. They're all small fiddly projects, but I do want to do them, so I saved them and stored them up there. These project bags all have projects in them that I thought that I would have been able to get started by now. The big bag has the rest of my sock yarn that I pulled for summer sock camp, but I will not have time to get to all of it. I'll talk about that in my next update video. So I'm really happy with that shelf. It holds a lot and it fills that wall. I really wanted, I had 4 of these fabric boxes, and I really wanted to get rid of all of them, but I just even after whittling down and getting rid of a lot of stuff, I still have some. So this is yarn that I bought for a project that I'm not going to do anymore, but it's all alpaca or wool, and there's some cottons at the bottom, so I'm keeping all of that. These are all my project bags. Some I've made, some I've bought. Those are all in there, empty project bags. And this is the storage unit that I bought that I ended up with. Like I said, I meant for the whole wall to have something, but truthfully, this works out better for me. So let's walk in a little closer and I'll show you what I've got. I put some of my knickknacks in here. These are all stitch markers. These are all progress keepers in this bowl. This bowl has just some odds and ends in it. It has these bulb stitch markers in it. And this is a little container. Sorry, I'm kind of not in the screen there. This is a little container that has needles and stitch markers in it that I keep in a project bag. So that's just kind of random odds and ends. This file has things that I'm working on right now, patterns in it. This is a blanket pattern that I made a very tiny start on that I want to finish next year. So that's going to stay up there so it's excuse me, in my line of sight, and I don't forget that I want to do that one next year. And then inside this cabinet is all of my cakes of yarn and a few other random things. This little Delft container has, I'll open it up in a minute. It's got shawl pins in it. And then these are all my crochet hooks and knitting needles in these 2 plastic containers. Here, I'll move this up and show it to you real quick. If you're interested in where I got these, let me know and I'll tell you. They all came off of Etsy, and I think they were all from Lithuania or Russia. They are just beautiful, and I really enjoy wearing them when I wear my shawls. This one has pine cones on it. And I'll show you one more. This one has a thistle. I have several of them. So that's where I'm keeping those. I'm feeling a lot more organized now, a lot better about the things I've chosen to keep that I know I'm going to work on and make actual projects with. I am going to show you, it's a disaster, darling. I'm going to show you the closet in just a minute, but I'm going to move around over here first. Let me back up. I did leave the dresser where it was before. This is my ironing mat. I have a wool ironing mat and my cutting board right there. I did hang another hanger there to hang finished things on. I moved this little storage cabinet on top of the dresser. Again, there's my tripod. And there is just a few boxes on the top. I haven't gotten my lights yet. I want some little fairy lights for in here, but I just haven't found exactly what I want yet. So, and I have cleared out. It's still full. It's still full, but you can at least shut the doors now. So I've cleared out a lot of that too. And let's show you the closet. Oh my goodness. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Oh, let's start at the top. Projects. Those are all kits. All kits for blankets, crochet blankets. Those are just some tote bags I have hanging in there. At the bottom here, the TJ Maxx bag and all those other bags. If you've ever shopped from Wool Warehouse, you'll recognize all those. Those are all, again, crochet blanket projects. The 2 containers on the bottom have cross-stitch things. Some things I've started, kits I decided to keep. The plastic containers on the top there has some crochet projects in it, and then the boxes and the containers there on the top I have some punch needle stuff in there. This kind of pink container that has the yarn on top of it, that is all of my DMC floss I have not figured out. I used to use floss away bags, and it's convenient but really time consuming, and not the easiest thing to store. So I have to figure out a way. I don't particularly like putting my floss on cards because it gets bent so much. So I've got to figure out a way to store that, and right now it's just not a top priority. And that brown box also has a crochet blanket project in it. And let me see if I can do this one-handed, and I'll show you something real quick that I believe I said I would show on my last video, and I didn't. This is that, sorry, I should have gotten this out ahead of time. This is the project that I'm working on for my granddaughter, who's going to be an adult by the time I finish it. That's the wrong side. Don't look at that. Ignore it. I'll see if I can. Okay. This is a Mirabilia pattern, and it is, I don't remember which one it is, but it's a mermaid. And it's so many color changes. I'm getting pretty close to being done with the top half of it, but I still have the bottom half of her body to do. And because I don't hardly ever sit back here by myself, I think I'm going to put this into a Q-snap. It'll have to go back on this because there's quite a bit of beading that goes on here. And once I get ready to bead, it'll have to go back. But that's another project for 2022 that I'm going to really try to push myself to finish. So there you have it. That's my craft room done. Sorry. So sorry. My video skills are not the best. But I do have room in the middle of the floor now, which I didn't have before, and room to do some sewing, and I feel good about that. And I'll talk about this more as it gets closer to the end of the year, but my plans are to stop buying yarn just because it's pretty, and to only buy yarn with specific project in mind, or at least work on that. We'll see how good I do next year with that. But anyway, I hope that you are all having a wonderful crafting day. It is my birthday week. Woohoo! And I will be back on hopefully Friday. My goal is to have it done Friday with a big giveaway, since it's my birthday week. So it'll be August giveaway, and it'll be a little bit bigger than normal, and a regular update. I have quite a bit to show. So I hope that I see you all here for my next update, the end of the week, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.